Let us now proceed with factoring. So remember that the first step in factoring is checking for the greatest common factor. Always do that. Always get the GCF first before applying any special formula for factoring. Now, there are cases wherein you can do that in the end, but for most cases, if you don't do the GCF, you will not be able to factor it at all. Having said that, so I will be showing you the flowchart of the factoring process. So you always start with GCF and then see whether you have a binomial, trinomial, or a polynomial with more than 3 terms for the remaining factor. Suppose that the factor is a binomial. So check whether it's a dots, DOTC, SOTC. DOTS or dots mean difference of two squares. So like that. A squared minus B squared equals A minus B times A plus B. So what is that saying? So it's like I am simply removing the exponents too. So I have A minus B, right? So that will be my factor over here. And then for the other factor, I just turn subtraction into addition. For instance, we have A4 minus B squared. So first, write it as something squared minus something squared. A4 is the square of what number? That is the square of A squared. And then B squared is the square of B. So I will now have the factorization is A squared minus B, my two numbers inside the parenthesis. And then for the other factor, I just turn the operation in the middle to addition. That's it. And then you look at the factors over here, you can no longer factor them. So therefore, that is the complete factor. Let us now go to DOTC and SOTC. DOTC means difference of two cubes, and SOTC means sum of two cubes. So the factorization will be this one. What is this saying? So if you have difference of two cubes, let me just get my pen. If you have difference of two cubes, so just like with dots, I sort of remove my exponents 3. So I'm left with A minus B. And then I will now look at this factor over here, this A minus B. And then for the next factor, what I do is I get the square of the first term. And then if this is minus, this one is plus. Okay? And then get the product of the two terms. Get the product of the two terms. So you have AB. And then square of the last term. Let me repeat that. Square of the first term plus product of the two terms plus square of the last term. Now, the only difference here for SOTC is that this one is plus, of course. If this is plus, this is minus. These two are always opposite in sign. Example, let's take a look at x cubed minus 8. So this is an example of DOTC. So I have here something cubed minus something cubed. X cubed is the cube of x, and 8 is the cube of 2. It will be better if you memorize the cubes of just small numbers like cube of 2. 2 cube is 8, 3 cube is 27, 4 cube is 64, and so on. Alright, for the small numbers, at least probably until 5. 5 cube is 125. Anyway, so going back to this example, so you have x cube minus 2 cube. So I will just get my numbers inside my parenthesis. So I'm left with x minus 2. Now I will just look at this factor over here for my other factor. So square the first term, minus becomes plus, product of the two terms, oops, 2x, and then plus square of the last. If you look at these two factors, they are no longer factorable. So that's it. X cubed minus 8 is equal to x minus 2 times x squared plus 2x plus 4. Let's now proceed with a trinomial. Let's check whether it is a PST, quadratic trinomial with a equal to 1, or quadratic trinomial with a not equal to 1. If you have a PST, it looks like this. So you have, first, what is this saying? The first and the last terms are perfect squares. And the middle term is equal to twice the product of your numbers here. Alright, so if that's the case, then in order to factor that, you just get these two numbers inside your parenthesis sign. If the if the sign of the middle term is plus, this one will also be plus, then they should always have the same sign. So as I have mentioned earlier, so check if the first and last terms are perfect squares. So for instance, I have x squared plus 10x plus 25. As you can see here, x squared is a perfect square and so is 25. This is the square of x, and 25 is the square of 5. Next step, check the middle term. Is the middle term equal to twice our numbers here, x and 5, which is equal to 10x? Correct. Our middle term is 10x. So therefore, this one is simply you get x, you get 5, since the middle term is plus, so that's also plus, and then square. Okay? How about if we have a quadratic trinomial with a not equal to 1? Like in this case, so a refers to the coefficient of x squared. So what you just need to do in order to factor this is to this one. Look for the factors of the last term that will add up to the coefficient of the middle term. For instance, we have x squared minus 5x plus 6. Let's look at the factors of your last term. Take note, don't forget to include the sign in front. Okay? So positive 6. What are the factors of positive 6 whose sum, when you add those two, it will be equal to negative 5. So the factors of 6 are 3 times 2 or negative 3 times negative 2, right? But which one will we take? We want the sum to be equal to negative 5, right? So therefore, what will we get? We get this one because negative 3 plus negative 2 is equal to negative 5. So how do we factor this? We now just get negative 3, negative 2, put an x in front of it. So that's it. X minus 3 times x minus 2. Alright. What if we have a quadratic trinomial with a not equal to 1? So as you can see here, I already have a coefficient for x squared. What we do is we proceed by trial and error. Although it's not really that trial and error, it is just the opposite of FOIL. Okay, so for the first terms, you write there the factors of your first term. For the last terms, you write there the factors of your last term. But don't forget to check your outer and inner term or the OI term. Okay, so don't forget that. Check the outer plus inner. It should be equal to the middle term. So for example, I have 2x squared minus 13x plus 18. So let's try this one. So for the first terms, I write here the factors of 2x squared, which is just, you have no other choice, 2x and x. And then I have here 18. So it's either you put 9 and 2, right? 9 and 2. But I cannot put my 2 here because I cannot put 2 here because I know that this is not possible because that would mean that they have a common factor of 2, which obviously our original term over here does not have. So let me just erase that. That can't happen. So if ever you want that, you put the 9 here and the 2 here. And since I will be checking the OI, I will make it, that's 18, so I will make them both negative. So that for my outer and inner term, it will be a negative. So I'll check my inner term, negative 9x. Oops, I'm sorry. This is negative 2. 2x times negative 2, negative 4x. Let me just rewrite this. That's negative. Great, I got it on my first try. So that's negative 13x, which is correct. So therefore, that's the factorization. 2x minus 9 times x minus 2. Let's look at this example. We're given that xy equals 7. We want to look for the square of x minus y minus the square of x plus y. Take note that we do not know the values of x and y. Actually, we will never be able to get the values of x and y because if you want to do that, if you need to look for the values of two variables, you need two equations. However, in this case, we have only one equation, xy equals 7. So that's not really possible. So don't bother to really solve for x and y because take note, what we want to find is this expression. Let us not now attack the problem. What we can do here is expand. Expand this expression. We have x minus y squared is x squared minus 2xy plus y squared minus, don't forget, I'm putting a parenthesis sign here because the answer to the square of x plus y, we have to subtract that whole thing. Alright, so you need the parenthesis here. Square of x plus y is x squared plus 2xy plus y squared. So let's now simplify. Let's take out the parentheses by distributing the negative sign. So we have negative x squared minus 2xy minus y squared. X squared and negative x squared gets cancelled out. Negative 2xy minus 2xy, so that's negative 4xy. Y squared, negative y squared, so that's 0. And remember that we're given that xy is 7. So the answer is negative 28. Let's now look at this next example. Find the value of k greater than 0 such that 9x squared plus kx plus 16 is a perfect square trinomial. So we want this term to be a perfect square trinomial. Remember that that is if it is a perfect square trinomial, the first and last terms are perfect squares. So 9x squared is the square of 3x, and then for 16, this is the square of 4. For this to be a PST, it should be 3x and a 4 here. And this is plus, so this is also plus. Right? So if that's the case, what is the middle term? The middle term is 2 times 3x times 4. And you will get 24x. Right? Actually, it can be negative 24x. K can also be negative 24. However, in the question, it says that k must be positive. So therefore, k equals 24.